What's up, guys? The Lazy Goldmaker here with another video, and today we're going to target or cover one of my favorite markets in the Burning Crusade. My favorite entry-level market, in fact, and it's a good one. It's material flipping. Now, if you're someone who prefers a text guide, then I already have written about this multiple times on the blog, so there's a link in the description, and you can head over there if you want to read instead, and then you can come back here and watch me put it into action as well. So material flipping works really, really well on the old auction house infrastructure, or the classic auction house with stack sizes, and there's a couple of reasons for this, and there's also a couple of reasons why I really like this as an entry-level market. So we'll cover that first, and then we'll cover some of the materials that you might want to focus on. My results, I'll show you how to do it with my TSM settings that you'll also find in the description, and then you can go out and make gold yourself. So the two main reasons why I really like this for entry-level players, the first one is that material flipping generally doesn't require that much gold to get started. You need a little bit of gold, but just whatever you can get. Like, you can easily get to this amount by just doing some dailies, just playing your character normally. You'll probably have a couple of hundred gold. That's more than enough to get started, which makes it accessible to literally anyone who wants to, and that's perfect. The other reason I really like this for people who are new to gold making is because it's purely based on the auction house, which means it allows you to learn playing the auction house. You'll be able to make some mistakes. They won't be too expensive, and you need to make mistakes to get a feel for the auction house. That's the only way to get better at anything in life, is to try, have some successes and some failures, and you learn from both your successes and failures. And material flipping is just perfect for learning because your mistakes aren't going to cripple you. They're going to be on the smaller side as long as you focus on multiple different materials. So that's why I really like this. Now, before we dive into the market, we need a little bit of a TSM tutorial or Trade Skill Master. It's a World of Warcraft add-on that is a necessity if you want to do any serious gold making on the auction house. In my opinion, it's just so good. And the main thing you need to understand, I'm not going to cover everything, but the TSM market value is very important for my approach to this market. The market value is the price for an item that is based on weighted average of the price over the last 14 days, where the most recent days will have a larger impact on the price. So if the price has gone up over the last 3 days, then the market value will have increased. If the price has gone down over the last 3 days, for instance, then the market value will be lower than it was 3 days ago. And this is the main thing I use. I use the market value in TSM as the yardstick. I buy at a certain percentage, and then I try to sell my items at about market value, because I know that at that price they will typically sell at a really fast rate, because any crafter, anyone who's like me trying to use Trade Skill Master to make money with crafting professions, they'll be willing to buy up to the market value, because that is the default cost for materials in Trade Skill Master. So if you're looking at your profession window and you see that item X is showing a profit, then you know that you can buy the materials up to the market value and you'll make a profit. So materials typically sell really well up to market value. So how does this work? How does material flipping work? General approach is pretty simple. I buy materials up to a maximum price of 80% of the current market value. That's my maximum shopping price, 80% of the current market value. And then I turn around and I post those materials on the auction house in nice even stack sizes, a bunch of different stack sizes, so I cater to different people. I sell them in stacks of 20, 10, 5, whatever the amount that people need this material in or will want to buy a large quantity of this material in. You definitely want to use whatever stack size is perfect for what recipe or what people typically use the material for. So it varies by material to material. So for instance, if you're flipping classic era enchanting materials, then you want to post them in a lot of large stack sizes, because the main people you are selling to are people who are buying a huge chunk of dust to power level their enchanting. So they want a lot of dust, they want to buy it fast, they want to prioritize stacks of 20 to save time. if you're selling to something specific to TBC and an item that's used primarily by in one recipe, then you might want to change it up. Don't have any perfect examples for that, but you get the point. And yeah, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And whenever they had the same auction house in Retail WoW, in Legion, this worked really, really well. It worked really well in Classic. It still works really well in TBC. You definitely want to focus on items with a short turnaround time. You want to have a good chance of selling your items for a profit within a week, because as I said, the market value is based on 14 days of prices. So within a week or two, the market value may have changed. So if you're not selling it that quickly, then there's a chance that you get stuck with the materials and you have to sell them for a loss. But generally speaking, I mostly just buy everything I can under my max price. So yeah, now I thought we'd jump in and take a look at at my resale summary. I'm also going to take a look at how I do these chopping scans and what materials I prioritize and why. Let's dive in and take a look at that. All right, so here we are, and I have a bunch of sales I can show you as well, which is perfect because there's a lot of materials in this mailbox, and all of these have been flipped. I don't farm stuff at all. As anyone who's followed me for a while will know. Obviously, there's some gems and stuff here as well. You can see here, Dream Dust, sold a couple of hundred of those. Lesser Planner Essences, Primal Life, we sold a good chunk of those. Ragveil, Illusion Dust, Cleft Tooth Meat, Illusion Dust again. Corium Bars, like there's a lot of materials here, and we're up at 2k gold actually in this mailbox. We're going to collect it all just so we have an updated resale summary. Then we're going to run to the auction house. On the way there, I'll show you the resale summary because this is interesting. So if you're doing flipping, TSM will tell you like how well you've done. Now I haven't actually checked this too recently. We'll go to resale last 30 days. We can see that I've made 600 gold. Some good ones here. Primal Life, bought 70 at 5.6, sold them for 7.2. That's 100 gold profit. 75 from the Corium Bar, so we just picked up, and then Fellhide, a bunch of stuff. I lost money on some things here. I think that I bought some of these to craft with as well. So they are going to poison this like a little bit. If we go back further in time, in all time, this is now going to include some items that are not materials, of course, as well from Classic. I flipped a bunch of stuff in Classic, and some that aren't really flips as much. Well, these are actually flips. You can see the top one here, Vision Dust. I've made 1,000 gold flipping Vision Dust. Although, as you can see here, this is just going to be the 37 silver times 2,500 ish. That's the 1,000 gold. I also sold another 1,200 that I have shuffled. But just look at that. I've doubled my gold on Vision Dust. Illusion Dust as well, 200 gold from that. I didn't do that much material flipping in Classic. Well, I did a little bit at the beginning, and then I stopped doing it. Because I was just spending all of my materials just crafting very, very profitable alchemy potions for the most part. And I spent all my shopping time doing that. Now, for what types of materials? The best ones are the ones with a low vendor sell price. And the reason for that is that the deposit cost on the auction house is based on the vendor sell of the material. So particularly for some Classic materials in particular, if the price is too low relative to the vendor price, then you're not going to be able to make money. Now this means that enchanting materials are the absolute best ones because they don't have a vendor sell price. They have 0, which means they don't have a deposit cost. Herbs also generally have very low deposit costs, so they're usually good. Cloth is usually really bad because it has very high deposit costs relative to the price. Leather is a mixed bag, or is also a little bit of a mixed bag. And these rep tokens are fantastic as well, Sunfury signets and stuff like that. So usually you could run a shopping scanner for the entire group, but that's usually going to be quite slow. So I prefer to do it in bulks of like a couple of subgroups at a time, just to make sure that I can buy any materials that show up. So I'll prioritize the ones that I know are like relatively good, like ore primals, bars, enchanting, maybe rep tokens. And then we'll do probably do herbs afterwards. So with this operation, or this group is using a shopping operation where the maximum price is set to 80% market value. So what that means is that the percentage here is going to be based on my maximum price. So anything that shows up at 100%, that means it's priced at 80% of the market value of that item. So typically what I'll do is I'll just buy everything up to 100%. And for items that I know sell well, I'll do that completely brainlessly. Just buy it all. So look at this, for instance, this fel iron ore here. There's 50 and then another like maybe 30 fel iron ore available here. And then the price suddenly jumps up and we can probably sell it for 55 because there isn't even that much here. So this is perfect. We're obviously going to buy all of this fel iron ore. If you're wondering how I'm buying this so quickly, it's with the Trade Skill Master macro. That's bound to my mouse wheel. You set that up in the Trade Skill Master window. Settings, where is it? Macro. So I have it bound to, I hold down control and then I just scroll my mouse wheel up and down and it very, very quickly clicks the buyout button. So yeah, next up, these Eternium bars is just 1 or 2, but we can definitely sell those for a profit for sure. You might want to consider buying these, but you'd have to sell them for all the way up here to make a profit, but that's a lot. That's a big wall to buy through. But people might not want to buy 20 if they don't need 20. So that's a question to what you would do. Primal Life, as we saw, I already made a chunk of money with Primal Life. And what you see here, this is perfect, right? So there's a gap here. So if I buy everything up to 6.1, then there's a gap up to 6.9. And then there's not much volume here. There's like 15. And then another 20. And then there's another 25 Primal Life available for less than 9 gold. So if someone buys 25 Primal Life, a total of 25, then the price is going to be 9 gold. So this is definitely something where I'll buy out all of this, all of these ones, for sure. So I do like to check out the auction house a little bit and just make sure that there's a good chance that I can sell. This is an interesting, there's a lot of volume here between 102 and 104. A lot of large stacks. So I would have to wait until like all of this would have to be bought out before I would be selling anything at about 1.2 ish gold. I think I'm going to take the chance just because I have so much gold that I'm going to do it. This is also a little high. As you can see, fel iron bars have a vendor sell price of 20 silver at the top of the screen here. Makes them a little bit more dangerous. Like if I get a couple of expires, that's going to actually eat into my profit by a good chunk. So this one's a little bit more risky. This Coriamore as well with the 25 vendor sell price. So I'm a little uncertain on this. I'm not sure if Coriamore is going to sell that well. So I think I'll skip those. So that's what I bought for the TBC materials. We can do herbs as well. Herbs is also pretty good. In general, I haven't been able to find many deals on herbs in TBC. So here we can see there's some cheap fellweed. I know that fellweed is used in some relevant recipes, so we're going to buy that. I'm just going to buy this that's at 101% as well, because that's where the gap happens. And I can afford to buy a little bit above, and we can see that there's about 50 herbs available before we reach what my price would be, which is about here. And 50 herbs is not a lot for anyone doing alchemy. Anyone who's ever done alchemy will know that that's not a lot. Then we can go down to my my classic group. I'm just going to show you enchanting materials, one of my absolute favorite ones, because people really need to level, or there are tons of people leveling enchanting still. So you can see, look at this price of vision dust all the way up at 1 gold. When you can find deals here, it's fantastic, and you can even shuffle, but that's the subject for another video. So Dream Dust, I have a good chunk. I don't think I have any Illusion Dust at the moment. And look at that. Just a couple available at 30 silver and then all the way up to 43. And I'd be selling mine at about 50 silver. Just under 50 silver is where I'd be posting my stuff. And if anyone needs to level to 300, then they're going to need a lot more than this amount of Illusion Dust. So they have to be willing to fork out the cash. It's not easy to farm this. So Dream Dust, here there's a lot of volume. You can see I already have a little bit of Dream Dust on the auction now, so I'd need to be willing to buy out a couple of hundred. Which, honestly, I think I am. Let's just go for it. No guts, no glory. Oh, we hit the auction house throttle. That's annoying. Yeah, this is actually really good because now mine are much more likely to sell once I'm done with this. I definitely want to buy out all this soul dust as well. Although I have a huge chunk of soul dust. Oh, not that much, just 400, never mind. That's not huge. I think this throttle really breaks the TBC auction house. So we'll cut to when this is done. Okay, so we're gonna figure out how much we potentially made now. So I spent about 1,000 gold on the auctions, and we currently have auctions posted for about 3,500 gold. 3.58. So now we're gonna run and collect all of the stuff that we just bought, or not all of it. We probably won't be able to fit all of it, but as much as we can fit. Actually, that's gonna include some other stuff as well, so it won't be perfect, but whatever. So just skip ahead until we've collected all this stuff. All right, we've filled up the first part of the inventory. Let's see how much. I won't be able to post all my materials because my operations don't actually post more than about 200 of each material. So it'll be interesting to see how much we increase our auction house value with. And it's going to post some other stuff as well that we'd have to remove from the equation. That's about 200 gold from other things. And now we're up to 4,700. And for the auctioning scan we just posted, it was about 300 gold from things I hadn't bought right now. Or actually, there were some rag bales as well, so maybe a little bit more. But we already increased our auction house value by more than 1,000 gold, which is more than we spent. And we still have a bunch of materials left over to post. Fell iron ore. The fell iron bars aren't getting posted, and then we have a bunch of stuff left over in our inventory as well. So just collect the last fell iron bars, run back to the auction house. And we'll post this stuff as well. Come on, get it out. Nice. So that's leaving us with 4,900 gold on the auction house. And well, we have 200 of these left over, so that's going to be another 200 gold in fell iron bars. Another, what's this, 9 gold per stack? How many stacks we have? I think maybe we had the soul dust from before. Dream dust, another 300 dream dust at 40 silver each. That's another 150 gold. So about 350 gold left in my inventory after posting all this stuff to the auction house. So then we already have 1,000 there. So about 350 gold profit. It's what we'd expect to make over time from this. Of course, we're not going to make that right away. It's going to take a while to sell all this stuff. And I'm going to refill some other materials. And it's slow going, but we would expect to see a large amount of sales, just as we had in the mailbox I opened at the beginning of this session. Like, we have sales literally a few days ago, a large number. We can even filter by groups. You can take a look at TBC materials, for instance. We can see that I have sold materials worth 2k in the last 7 days, not so much, but in the last 14 days we have sold TBC materials worth 1,200 gold. Then we can even go down to, that's the wrong button, flipping materials. We can take a look at classic materials. We have 270. I don't have haven't had that many classic materials in stock, but we have refilled that quite significantly now as well. So yeah, this is going to bring in some sales. It's going to bring in some good sales. That's didn't take the time, but that's like 10 minutes for 350 gold in expected profit. Well, of course, we're probably going to have to repost these auctions a couple of more times. So we're not going to actually just be getting away with the time I spent now. We are going to have to spend more time to get the sales. But that's still an incredible gold per hour amount. We're talking 1,000 gold per hour implied, or at least several hundred gold per hour from doing this. So this is why I like it. You just do this and you don't even have to think much. today I talked through my thought process a lot more than I usually do, because I wanted to give you guys an idea of what kind of things you could think about. Usually I just run the shopping scan, like I can just run one for bars. Usually I just like buy, okay, let's up to 100%, just buy brainlessly and then sell. Like we could do this with gold bars. I'm not sure. Yeah, they have a large sale rate. Guaranteed to be able to sell these for more than that for someone who's like desperate to level or want to be optimal when leveling. This one, not so much huge volume available, but yeah, you get the point. There's so much potential here. So many materials. There's a ton. Classic era materials sell really well still. People need those to level their professions, and they are leveling their professions because, well, max level TBC professions give you a bonus. So people want to do this. It's easy gold. You can easily make some mistakes as well, which is perfect because you want to make some mistakes. You want to push your limits to where you are making mistakes so you can learn from them. That's an integral part of getting better at anything, gold making included. So go out there, buy some materials. If you need TSM settings, they are in the blog post that's linked in the description. You can just head on over there. I have TSM imports both for my classic material groups and my TBC classic material groups. You can get both, and then you can buy to your heart's content and flip, and hopefully you'll have as much success as I've had with this market. And yeah, make sure you leave a like if you've learned anything in this video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'm planning to do a couple of more guides of some of the stronger gold making markets in TBC based on what I've already written and my experience with gold making. So yeah, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.